If you guys
We are good there.
Oh, yes. Okay,
You didn't have to address that for me.
everybody.
Nothing but the best for you.
And I'm going to start recording at
Okay.
this moment in time. And we can begin after this. After this part, we can.
Calling to order the March 19th, 2026 meeting of the Historic Resources Commission here in room 204, 111 North Front Street. The time is 4:01 p.m. The next business meeting of the commission will be Thursday, April 2nd at noon, 111 North Front Street on the second floor in room 205 next door. With the next hearing of the commission being Thursday, April 16th, 2026 at 4 p.m. here in room 204, 111 North Front Street. If you could raise your right hand, Lauren.
Of course.
Do you swear to tell the truth in your testimony before the commission this evening?
Yes, I do. Morgan Graff.
Thank you. An introduction of the commissioners here present this evening, starting on my far right.
Hi, Stuart Gibney.
Michael Fort.
Clyde Henry.
Joseph McCabe.
Melva Williams Argyle.
And Cynthia Hunt.
Thank you. Is there any items for public forum this evening?
No, there is not at this time.
Okay, having no items of public forum, moving on to the approval of the staff approvals.
I make a motion.
There's a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Having a motion, a second, is there any further discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstention? Motion passes. On to approval of the minutes from the last meeting, which is February 19th, 2026.
So moved.
Second.
Having a motion and a second, is there any further discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstention? Motion passes. On to certificate applications for certificates of appropriateness this evening, starting with the continued applications and application number 1, COA 2501301. That's for 165 North High Street. Is there anybody here for that? If you could come on forward. And we need to make sure that microphone is on real quick. Perfect. If you could actually stand up real quick, I gotta swear you in. Raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell the truth in testimony before the commission this evening?
I do.
If you could state your full name and association with the property for record.
Christopher Jolly of Darren Ranker Architects, the architect for the project.
Wonderful. Thank you.
All right.
Morgan.
I'm going to get set up here a little bit, guys. Thank you very much. All right, so this is to convert second and third floors from offices to apartments, remove existing fire escape, north elevation, and install new egress stairs to meet building code requirements, building code requirements for apartment conversion, staircase to be painted vintage gold, install new 6-foot steel security fence around bottom portion of stairwell, convert 2 existing windows on third floor and second floor north elevation to new full light aluminum egress door with transom, convert existing third floor door on north elevation to new 1/1 window, repair windows on front, east, and side north elevation. The application is in response to a code violation from September 2024 for the removal of sashes without a certificate of appropriateness. HPO staff conducted a site visit on September 9th to view the current conditions. As noted by past staff, it is a mix of window styles on the property that includes on the south elevation arched 1/1 windows, 9/9 windows, and 4 stained glass windows. North elevation is 4/4 windows and 9/9 windows. On the east elevation, 1/1 windows with decorative transom, skinny arched windows, and stained glass with entryway. Currently, the property appears to have glazing infill within the bottom sash area where they were previously removed. HPO staff would ask applicant to clarify if the previously removed sashes are still on the property and being repaired, or will there need to be new sashes manufactured for these openings? Also, the proposed new windows to be performed to all windows on elevations or just the provided second and third floor north and east elevation. Okay. We have the minutes from the December 18th HRC hearing for this property. Would the commission like me to read those at this point in time?
I believe they're outlined here before us. I did want to point out too, there is one error on the agenda. It says this is in the Bryden Road Historic District.
Oh, thank you very much. It is not, no.
Does
All
anybody-
right.
Okay. Also, by the way, make sure that the record reflects Magda's join us as well.
Yes, yes. Thank you, Commissioner McKay. All right, if there's nothing from the last minutes, I'm going to review what was discussed about at the March business meeting. Commission asked applicant to clarify if the replacement sashes will be made of wood. They would recommend that the replacement sashes match the appropriate configuration, such as 9/9 or 4/4, instead of a single light sash as depicted in the elevation. Commission asked applicant to provide verification that they own the property containing the parking lot, since the fire escape will be exiting into the lot, which I will get to that site plan. Into the lot, they asked applicant to provide updated site plan indicating their property lines. They asked applicant to reach out to BZS as well because the fire escape does exit into existing parking spaces. There may need to be consideration of adding bollards if they will remain parking spaces or will no longer be parking spaces. The commission requested more reasoning on why the current door does not work with the site and needs to be changed, if it is due to interior layout design or is it for specific life safety reasons for the change. The commission asked if all windows are being worked on. If so, elevation window key or drawing needs to be provided with the materials. As a reminder, the property was within the Downtown Commission District as well as Historic Resources Commission. The application will need to be approved by HRC prior to approval by the DC. And then at this time, there has been no revised materials submitted by the applicant. We recommend to continue application for 165 North High Street to allow applicant time to provide the additional BZS information and revised window configuration that was requested by the commission. Basis for staff rec is 311611, standards for alteration, Columbus Register of Historic Properties, architectural guidelines, windows page 52 through 55, and amendments to City of Columbus Architectural Review Commission guidelines, window replacement page 4 through 5.
Thank you.
That's all.
What would the applicant like to add at this point? And then we can open up to discussion.
Yeah, I'd just add that, so, majority of or all the windows that were to be repaired were essentially vandalized is what the owner's been told me. So they're looking to repair those to be like original. Any missing sashes, they're not on the property, nothing that I've seen or the owner's aware of that they exist. So they would need to be recreated to match the existing windows. And I think, there's different pieces and parts of different windows that are missing, but I think there's plenty there to be able to match what we have, from adjacent windows to be able to know, what that configuration is to be able to make that match happen. And as far as the internal layout, last time it was discussed looking at how that would affect if we left the fire escape where it was, and that's this layout here. So we have a tiny little studio apartment in that upper left corner off to the left side of the plan, which that size configuration would not meet building code. It's only, the entire unit's 232 square feet. The combined living and kitchen space is only 160 square feet, whereas the building code requires 190 square feet. Separate from the bathroom and a closet space are also required, in addition to the 190 square feet. So that doesn't really work with this layout here. And so that's why we're looking at moving it to create a more appropriate layout for that apartment in the corner.
Did you receive a copy of the the comments we had provided on the packet to submit any revised materials or additional follow-up things, just so we could get some of the questions we had resolved?
No, I've not seen those prior.
It's in the application under the portal. That's where they're normally uploaded for business
Okay.
feedback, always.
Okay.
Mhm.
We just want to make sure that, you get feedback related to the fire escape, especially because it is going on to what is a legally separate parcel.
Right.
And that BZS is comfortable with that because you're now extending onto another parcel of land, even though we believe it's owned by the same entity. And we want to make sure there's no other technicalities there. You may need variances, you may need other things to address and appease them. We don't obviously approve variances or anything, but we are a recommending body when it comes to that kind of thing. So I think there's some due diligence that needs to still be resolved there on that matter. And I would open that up really for the conversation to the rest of the commission here for other things that the commission saw. We generally don't rule on the inside. We have no authority or jurisdiction on the insides of buildings such as this. But we did want to know what was the impact or what was driving this, looking to put a new fire escape in. So thank
Sure.
you for at least the information on that. But I'll turn it over to other commission members to.
I would like to address the railing and the gate. It looks like the gate, I'm assuming that's probably aluminum. It looks like it has vertical members with little spear tops. we've allowed that type of a thing before, I think. However, the railing on the staircase then is horizontal. So you have vertical elements and horizontal elements bind together in the same configuration. Generally, we have not allowed horizontal railings in historical buildings because they're more of a 21st century type of a aesthetic. And that would, if you would make those vertical, that would maintain consistency with the gate that you're proposing. And we may want to talk about the gate a little bit more as to whether or not that's the appropriate look with it. But certainly there should be consistency between those, between all the wrought iron or the aluminum metal work or really good point.
Sure.
I think you've raised kind of, I think, most of the questions. I can think of. Were there other questions or
Is this
comments?
your first time in front of the commission?
December previously.
Okay, but this is your first big project in front of the commission?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. I would encourage, I think we would all encourage you to work with the officer here so she can help you with where stuff is, and if you have any questions about any of the feedback, we're happy to help. I get that it can be overwhelming at first, so we'd like you to be successful.
Sure.
I think with the layout, I appreciate your explanation of why the new location. Did you study rerouting the hall in a different configuration? So it wouldn't necessarily have to be, exiting that way. It could come horizontal on the paper for a bit. So if you jogged elsewhere, does that create a different potential pathway for preserving more of the existing door opening? Or does that create like a unit problem?
Yeah, it just makes, when you start you end up kind of with a Z-shaped hallway. So it just kind of ends up being a little bit funky on the inside, with that configuration. And you end up with some pretty skinny spaces on one end or the other, but, that could certainly be looked at, but, it'd just be a little bit.
Yeah, you might do it and we might say, yeah, that's not reasonable to request that. I think usually we try to exhaust the different options though and make sure understood that the current configuration doesn't make sense as it relates to code, but just make sure, when you resubmit, come back, that you feel like you've really exhausted all the options and can, show that to us. The other piece that I know you've been working on this and appreciate the progress that we've made with how you've documented all the different windows, because I think previously it was hard for us to understand which windows were getting which treatments and what kind of condition were each of them in. So the key is really helpful with all the photos, so appreciate that. The one piece in the business meeting that I know I still had a question on, maybe some of the other commissioners did as well, was that your detailed catalog here looks like it's showing windows on elevations which aren't drawn. And I'm still a little bit confused about which elevations you're proposing repairs for completely. Because we're only seeing, let's see, we're seeing I think we're mostly talking about the north and the east facade, north elevation and east elevation. And then in the plan, you have window numbers on both the south and the west as well. And then it looks to me like there are detailed photos of windows on the south and the west as well. So that's the part where I still haven't figured out completely where all you're proposing changes to.
So the elevations were provided for reference because mostly the exterior change is really just the stair. And any of the other windows, the only change to windows are, moving the one window for the door. Everything else would be looking to restore it to its previous condition. So that's why we don't have necessarily elevations of the other drawn. It's just the images of the condition and noting what we would need to do.
But
for
it
this window.
is your intent to also restore or rebuild the windows on the south and west facades
Yes.
as well.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's a change in scope that was not clear in the application. Elevations noted. I'm wondering kind of if the commission would be okay if we could, for the purpose of protecting historic fabric, we know there's a number of windows that are in damaged condition. Is if we could potentially pull the window package, just the window package item, and move it to a staff approval so that when staff is okay with the window package, it could be staff approved. At least to get one thing off of this.
Sure.
And out the door, and you could start
Sounds
advancing that piece of it while you're still working through resolving these other issues, because protecting historic fabric is everything, I think.
And that's typically a staff approved item for us for restoring windows. So we know exactly what we'll need for window key, window package and all that so if the commission's comfortable with that. We are fine.
I'm trying to get you an early decision so you can get moving.
Appreciate it.
Sure.
Somebody wants to make a motion on that, we could. start
So
that.
moved.
Having a motion, is there a second?
Second.
Okay, motion and a second. Any further discussion? And that would be, just for clarity, that would be moving them to staff approval, and your issuance would be after there's clarity to your
And
satisfaction.
you're comfortable with the conclusions,
Yes.
right?
And if not, if the other portion is continued, then we'll just add the windows back on for.
Okay.
Yeah.
So no further discussion on this. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstention, motion passes. And then we would like to, I think, for the most part, give you additional time to resolve these other items. Work with staff. We'll see, and if there's things that maybe come back to help clarify things, we can help expedite pieces or parts of it, or maybe the whole thing. We have to have you respond to kind of the other things to get those other items resolved.
Sure. I appreciate it.
We could have a motion to continue the rest of the case.
Do you have any other questions for us before we wrap up?
No, I don't think so. I mean, like I said, the biggest thing is, especially for the owner, is the windows is their kind of biggest hang up. So,
Okay.
Okay.
I move that we continue the remaining parts of
Second.
the application.
Motion, and there's a second. Okay. Having a motion and a second, any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstention, motion passes. Thank you.
then-
Please stay in touch with staff on your progress, just so we know where you stand, and if, you can't make a deadline or something, just so it bumps another meeting, so we're not
Mhm.
expecting you on the docket or on the agenda. That'd be helpful. Thank you.
And just for the applicant from staff's end, a letter will be submitted through the portal under the attachments in your application. So we'll have the feedback that was given tonight and the motions that were given tonight. So just look for it on there as well.
When roughly time was?
For those, it typically takes us 3 to 5 business days for minutes. And then, of course, the letters are following suit after that. So, yeah.
Turn stuff around to the commission to get on the next meeting pretty quickly after that, so.
Mhm.
Man, this can be a quickie.
Great. Okay, thank you.
thank you.
Good luck.
Cases number 2, 3, and 4 were all moved to staff approval at the business meeting. So we are on to case number 5. That's 330 Loeffler Avenue. Come on down.
Like I was in church, I was in the back row.
We don't bite, we welcome you to come forward. Our sermons are pretty good.
Right.
Raise your right hand, sir. Do you swear to tell the truth in your testimony before the commission this evening?
Yes.
If you could state your full name and association with the property for record.
Glenn Goble, Almost Home Restoration owner, contractor.
Okay, have a seat, sir. All right.
On my microphone real quick. Dormers were built larger than previously approved under COA HR 24-07012. Applicant would like to retain dormers as constructed, finish the dormer with synthetic asphalt shingle, CertainTeed Belmont black granite. Chimney does not match previously approved under COA HR 24-07012. Applicant would like to retain chimney as constructed, retain installed security doors, remove inappropriate mortar and repoint areas with new type N mortar to match existing color and size on brick elevations and sandstone foundation. Retain previously approved sconce lights and electric boxes installed on west elevation. And that should be installed, not approved, I apologize. Previously installed sconce lights. Retain previously installed metal step and stoop railing. Property received approval under COA HR 24-03007, but it appears the existing is slightly different from approved. Retain existing vents and soffit or install venting stacks for the roof of the property. Restore and refinish existing transom windows over front doors on west elevation. Block off 2 rear windows from the interior with drywall or boarding to be painted black. and install new mini split systems and AC condensers on the north and south side of property. Units will have a 4-foot, 6-inch picket fence screening installed per provided site plan. Application to install new doors, repair transoms, install stair handrails, tuck point, paint exterior wood, and install new windows have been staff approved under HR 2403-007 and HR 2403-012. The application is in response to a code violation. Violations were performed by previous contractors. New contractors now addressing existing conditions to resolve code violations. Violation was submitted in April 2024 with the removal of the front-facing slope of the roof, dormers, and chimney. Prior to approval, dormers and chimney were approved to be rebuilt to match original size configuration, but previous contractor enlarged dormers and did not rebuild chimney to approved drawings. In May 2025, a violation was submitted for mortar voids, insufficient downspouts, missing railings on stoop, repair rear concrete steps, soffit fascia repair and graffiti removal, and bare plywood for the rebuilt dormers. Previously, contractor submitted a COA application to remedy these violations under COA 25-00550. We conducted a site visit on February 12th and noticed the other changes that have been made since that prior approval. Installation of 2 security doors, new front entry sconces, new exterior outlets next to the front entrances, inappropriate mortar application and mortar type, installation of laundry ventilation through the soffit on the front and rear, and installation of house numbers through the brick. Commission asked applicant at the past March business meeting to provide detailed drawings of how they will be finishing and trimming out the dormers on the front. The commission will recommend to clad the dormer cheek walls with recycled slate or alternative wood cladding instead of the proposed asphalt shingle. They would not support the retention of the security storms or security doors, but would consider a full light storm. They asked applicant to provide reasoning for the installed venting in the soffit, and the commission requested a fence drawing detail to show what the screening for the AC equipment would look like. At this time, no revised materials have been submitted. Staff recommends to approve application 2600144, 330 Loeffler Avenue in the Brighton Road Historic District as submitted with the following clarifications noted. Clad the exterior dormers with lapwood siding with a reveal between 3 to 5 inches. Final paint color to be submitted to HPO staff for final review and approval. Clean up the mortar on the chimney. Remove existing security doors and install full light storm door with product specification to be submitted to HPO staff. Submittal of final fence design and fence coating to be submitted to HPO staff for final review and approval. And install house numbers through the mortar and patch voids and brick. Basis for staff rec is 311611, standards for alteration, as well as 311613, standards for site improvements, and Columbus Register of Historic Properties, chimneys, page 28 through 29. That's all from us.
Thank you, Morgan. That was a pretty lengthy but
Sorry.
in-depth report. And I do want to note for the commission here, staff's recommendation here was to, a lot of this to be moved to them to resolve and to work through, and you feel comfortable with that potentially as a recommendation? Okay. Okay. I know no additional material has been submitted, but I would like to open this up to you to add whatever you may want to add before we have our own discussion and see where things go.
It's first time for me, 30 years in the business, but I've never had this situation. Contractor took her money,
So
gone.
you walked into all this.
Yes.
It was all, you've done nothing.
I've done nothing to the exterior other than we were cleaning it up for the HVAC contractor. We have to put the outside splitter unit and the condensing unit right there where those bushes are. So we're in the process of cleaning an area up for them. But everything else we've been doing is interior.
Okay.
The previous contractor did the soffits, venting. We put 2, they didn't vent the bathrooms on the 3rd floor. The 3rd floor was converted to living space. We did put 2 boots on the roof for the venting for the HVAC bathrooms. The previous contractor put those in the soffit.
We, by the way, in unique circumstances, have had a few of those actually occurred before. I think the last time we saw that was maybe in the university district. We have had that specific, but we wanted to hear why, what was going on. When things just happen on the building, sometimes
Right.
it's not that we're not going to be inflexible. We've just got to know why and what happened. And
Yeah, the laundry is on the second floor now.
Mhm.
They designed it for us on the second floor. And so, I mean, we could find a chase to get to the roof probably, if that's not acceptable. At this point, that's why I'm here, because I want to know where I'm going and how to get there. As far as the downspouts, it's concrete everywhere. So I don't know do we run a pipe along the perimeter to the front and then pick up that one and kick it out to the,
well, unfortunately, I don't know that we could give you the advice on that. We can only give you the advice on what you're going to propose for a solution. That's really a stormwater issue, I think, with the city on code. So
Right.
you would have to see what BZS and the building department's going to require as far as a stormwater treatment standpoint. But your design solution, you would then seek approval from us, but we can't dictate the building code and the permitting process and what's going to be required, how to treat the stormwater.
okay, so the design,
We're only your solution. You would propose the final solution to us. And if I don't know if building and zoning services or the permit department's going to require any calculations, those kinds of things. I don't know how many units trigger handling stormwater different. So I don't want to say that we can't offer that advice. But whatever you end up needing for a solution based on whatever they're going to tell you code is going to require, and whether it involves a designer or not, I don't know. Or, that's when you would then bring that next step to us.
Mhm.
right, so a PVC pipe from the back to the front laying against this building exposed, is that possible?
I don't really
No.
think so. I don't know that we've ever
Typic-
had such a thing.
Typically, it's buried under a below grade, but again, as Commissioner McCabe's saying, just to check with BZS for code purposes. If you do get to that point where you are going forward for the drainage, you can always reach out to us, and that could be something separate, because that's something we typically can review administratively.
Because you don't really want a downspout running across the building at an angle down to the front.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of, drainage that's connected undergrade, and then going through the curbing. We just need to look at the curbing and look at it that way. Mhm.
It may be possible that simply because of the project size, lot size, and stormwater shed, you may be able to splash block it and sheet flow it. I don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah, they won't, yeah.
yeah, maybe double check. Again, it's just as long as it's carried away from the foundation is our
6
biggest
feet,
concern.
then,
Yeah.
I mean, you're on the other, there's only 5 feet of property line on the back.
So I would double check with them, with building and zoning, if you haven't already, just to get kind of their feedback and their thoughts on it. And see for that specifically. When we were referring to it before, that code violation, it was more, I think the contractor before had like a half downspout on the building instead of a full length. So if that's what you're referring to, Glenn, for that one, yeah.
Okay, and then another issue is the tuck pointing. So it's kind of convoluted. You gave me a couple of pictures of circled where the graffiti was, yeah, there, and a couple other spots. What's the determination as far as, and this is the homeowner, the owner saying, we do this part, and then you come back and say, well, there's this part. So is there any kind of a rule as far as where you're saying here, well, you need to do this northwest corner, southwest corner, chimney?
I think some of the issues is there's really, really poorly done tuck pointing. That's
Yes.
new work.
Right.
And it's not consistent with the historic guidelines and what you see in general historic practices. I think we're very concerned because, was the correct mortar used? If not, it's going to cause more damage to your brick in a very short amount of time.
Right.
But we definitely have to, it's very obvious. Morgan can easily probably scroll to a picture of really badly newer tuck pointing work.
Yeah, that front. They did some stuff on the front. And then like the sandstone foundation, they did all that in
Yeah, I mean, that's a good example of where it's kind of halfway done.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, so, I mean, is there a standard of
Page 18.
this void is too deep, so this needs tuck pointed?
What I'm going to say is I'm going to defer to the guidelines. We do have guidelines and there is city code on historic preservation. Read up on that. And really the type of mortar needs to be submitted to preservation staff for approval.
I think they did.
Mhm. Yeah, type N and the coloring looks to
Yeah,
be
the
matching, so.
White Portland type.
Mhm.
So really, I mean, some of this may be alleviating some of the cleanup. And probably there's some spots you probably want to get a little bit more watertight.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah, and the chimney.
It just needs clean.
What about the,
size?
where they made the chimney bigger or something, that one?
I mean, that's a really, I admire they put the chimney back, right? They tried,
Yeah,
but the tuck pointing just
I mean, yeah,
really looked.
yeah,
It really ruined every effort to put the chimney back.
exactly.
And they also put it back in a different place
Mhm.
where the original one was.
Really?
And they also made the dormers bigger,
Right,
even though it was approved, put the chimney back in the original place. There's even a drawing showing that. However, so I guess that's something that we need to decide, and looking at it, you're not responsible for it. I think I can live with it. I mean, I think it's an element of the design. Does it still serve the same a few feet further? It's probably okay.
And it's just floating, right? There's nothing.
There's nothing under it.
Yeah.
Right, and
the chimney?
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't.
Yes, that's between the two units. So that goes to the
firewall.
basement, sits on the firewall, goes to the basement. That's actually where we're using the chase to get the splitters up.
Okay.
Because
Oh.
they didn't want them on the outside of the house.
So is it where the original chimney was? 'Cause-
Yes.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, then it's okay.
That makes sense
Okay.
then.
Okay, that makes sense because in the drawing,
It hugged it to the.
in the
to
drawing, it's further up on the roof.
Yeah.
And that's where we're confused. So, okay, so you're good on that. We won't worry about that. And,
A little bit of cleanup.
the dormers, I personally am okay with the larger size, I guess but let's talk about how you're gonna finish the surface on it. I think you've got some.
I mean,
idea.
staff ultimately recommended consistent with what I think a lot of the commission sort of thought was okay to go, which is even though it isn't original, but that a cladding, a
Slate. You pick up slate.
It looks like
I
slate.
need that
either
much. I mean,
it's gonna be
cover that thing in slate.
a slate, or we were willing to say, okay, go with siding, but you have to have trims at the corner and you have to have the trims at the head sill and jamb of the windows. And somebody's just got to sketch it up and show where the 4-inch piece goes, where what it looks like. But I think we were all willing to compromise, and even in the staff report there's a compromise of recommending that you're able to clad it with,
I don't know about the siding part, but we'll see.
that was
Slate would be a much better choice if you want to win some favors.
it was an option I think we left out there, but we have to see something and you
Mhm.
have to propose something with, and we have standards on that, and it would be just look at the thing and make sure it makes sense, what a decent proportion size corner configuration is going to look like. What's it going to look like with head sill and jam condition with some trims? And then is it, wood, or is it smooth face hardy?
Mhm.
Or is it, you're gonna pick up some recycled slate and do the dormer treatment? We can't play your architect. You have to propose to us what the corrections need to be.
Okay.
Mhm.
But the slate synthetic roofing materials, no.
So it looks like the recommendation is to move to staff approvals, right?
Yes.
The one that I'm curious about everyone else's opinion on is the, reinstalling the house numbers and then patching the voids in the brick. Since the brick has already been damaged.
Do we want
Is it
more?
better to pull it out and then reinstall it and then patch the brick, or just leave the numbers I know we definitely don't want to encourage that behavior, but at the same time, I don't know what's the lesser of two evils.
I think it would be better on the brick to not pull them out and then re-drill and do all that, but
Can't hear you, Stuart, I'm sorry. Can you speak up?
yeah, I was mentioning that we might be in a better place to overlook this portion, because if you look where those holes are, that's fooled with, I think, between moisture and re-drilling, those bricks are gonna crumble. See how close those are to the tops of the bricks?
Right.
Yeah, so there's gonna be nothing left.
And there's maybe no way that those are gonna hit the mortar joints as well, even if. they
I was
go to move
thinking
them.
do them at an angle to where it's,
Or bigger something.
Yeah, the pre-drill on the numbers is definitely not gonna match up
We
with
could
the mortar.
put them on some kind of,
flat.
yeah,
Mhm.
and that way you're not doing more harm to the brick except for the plaque.
Good.
But I guess that is,
Depending on
that is a
the
fair
thing.
question though, is the damage already done? So is it better
Mhm.
just to leave as is until a future replacement of the numbers occurs?
I would tend to agree that because you,
That's
especially if you
unreasonable.
look at how close it is to the edge there, you're gonna pull that out and then you're still gonna have the hole. You can't undo the
But if you
hole.
put a.
But if we put a plaque over it, then
it's
that
gonna
would,
Protect it, is
yeah.
what I was
But,
thinking.
yeah, I mean, I'd be
I mean,
fine with black.
But if you
That'd
put
be
a
fine.
plaque, then you're just creating a bigger element on the brick and the brick's still gone.
And maybe a moisture trap or.
I'd rather just leave the brick and just the way it is right now.
I don't feel strongly enough about it to fight back.
But if you want
I-
to take it apart, put a plaque on it and then seal it, make sure it's done right, then
I would
More
be
than welcome.
comfortable delegating this to staff to let staff work with the applicant to resolve
Mhm.
this.
Sure.
Sure.
With the flexibility granted by the commission to go either or.
sounds good.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
I can.
Do we want to make a motion based on staff recommendation?
I'm less comfortable with the dormers than others are.
What would you like to see on the dormers?
It just, the proportions feel really off to me.
Is it the window to the
But do you
dormer or
think-
the dormer to the building?
I-
The window to the dormer.
I feel like once you put corner boards on it, then we're
Uh-huh.
going to go
I
back
think
to
it's
it.
gonna
And
work.
then
Yeah.
once you trim out the window in full, I think the perception of the
shrink
full
it.
thing is going to shrink.
Yeah.
Are you
it
gonna
will.
be
I
able
think so.
to, we're not gonna see it. It's all
Well,
gonna be
staff
organ.
will have to see those details prior to. I do agree that was my initial concern. And then I really looked at it and I thought, once you put like say a 4-inch and maybe a 6-inch corner,
Mhm.
you're,
It's gonna choke the middle down.
it's,
Yeah.
it's
Right.
going to make it
It's gonna wrap.
feel.
Right.
Right.
Because you'll still need the window casing and then the corner boards.
And I also think the color of whatever final paint is what will matter too.
Yeah,
Or
because the really ill proportion now is from the window to the corner.
Yep.
But that will look better.
And just so I'm clear, in several cases, it says that there was a recommendation, the recommendation was not carried through. You did none of that. You get that if we
Correct.
make a recommendation and it's approved, you have to follow the.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, I run into this all the time. The contractors, whatever reason, they lose their license, they get fined or something, and then there's no repercussion for them. They just go away and
Right,
poof, you know?
it's very sad.
Mhm.
Okay. I'll make a motion for COA 26000144. Move to staff approval with the staff caveats that they mentioned and in context of the discussion of the commissioners today.
Second.
Having a motion and a second. Morgan, is that clear enough as a
Yes.
motion? Okay.
Mhm. And the discussion that was taking place on the
Mhm.
items listed before. So.
Any further discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
All right.
Aye.
Abstention. Motion passes. Just work with staff very closely on cleaning up all these issues
We'll
and
chat.
as long as you're providing sufficient information to her, she can approve these things individually and get you moving.
Okay.
Yeah, and we can send examples too, just of drawings for dormers and details like that.
Was that?
For like drawing details for dormers, if you need that, so we can provide examples to be, to send to us. So,
Out to you later.
Yeah,
after
yeah.
this.
I'll reach out to you soon, Glenn, once we get through all the other.
And I would say if you feel the least bit concerned, you bring it back.
Yes. Yes. Thank you, Commissioner.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
You're the guy to make it right. Can't wait.
Thank you.
Thank you very
Thanks
much.
for your help.
Moving on to case number 6, 831 South Front.
And this is the start of our conceptual applications, just to.
Yep.
Yeah.
if you could both remain standing here and each raise your right hands. You each swear to tell the truth in your testimony before the commission this evening.
Yes, we do.
And if you could each state your name and association with the property for record.
Bronte Clifford, I'm the owner of the building.
Okay,
Scott Malley, the architect.
wonderful. Thank you.
All right, so this is to convert a vacant building into a new restaurant, install a new rooftop equipment, mechanical equipment screen on the rear roof of the building with bottom and top rails and 1x6 slats to be painted black, remove existing steps and grade along the south entrance, remove existing limestone steps from south-facing entrances, regrade walkway entrance to be level with public sidewalk, walkway to be concrete, install new concrete steps closer to the entry door and concrete slab over CMU block for entry stoop. Install new 36-inch metal handrail and 42-inch guardrail. Install new incline platform lift to be installed on south elevation. And remove existing limestone steps from south-facing entrances. Property owner received previous COAs for painting and roof replacement. From past records, it appears that the steps and entry walk were redone around 1994. This included replacing the existing concrete steps with limestone steps. Looking at the current photos of the steps, it appears the current steps are made of concrete with salvage stone brackets, while the two south-facing entry points have limestone steps. After further review of the property, it appears that the rooftop mechanicals on the roof were installed prior to approval, as well as installation of a new garage door, repoured concrete step and porch, and gravel pad on the rear. Applicant responded to this work and noted that the rear elevation work was performed prior to the current owner owning the property. According to the applicant, the rooftop mechanical equipment has been placed on the roof for storage. With some of this work being done prior to approval and with the current conditions, we recommend applicant come to the commission as a conceptual review to receive the commission initial feedback to provide more information on the overall site and details. At the March business meeting, the commission stated that if the rear roof equipment is to be removed, they'd be fine without having roof screening on the rear. Provide additional sight line photos to be able to document visibility from the public right-of-way. Regarding the side of the property, will this expose the existing foundation? If so, what is the treatment plan for the original foundation? How will the lift be installed? Will it be on a railing or on the elevation of the building? Commissioners asked for applicant to provide landscaping, if landscaping is to be included. And they asked applicant to clarify that all entrances, openings are being maintained, update elevation drawing to include all openings on the south side. Commissioners should offer design feedback that can be utilized by the applicant to further refine the proposal for review at a future HRC meeting. No action is required. Basis of staff rec is 3116, standards for alteration. Thank you.
Wonderful. It is conceptual review, so I'll open it up to you to add some color here and talk to us about the project.
Well, we talked last week about getting rid of the railing in the back,
Mhm.
since we don't need, can't see it, so.
Yeah, if you're not gonna have equipment up there.
Everything is moved forward. There was a miscommunication in my office. The revised drawings did not get sent back in by the 12th. But as per our last meeting, we're getting rid of that railing in the back.
As long as you can't see the equipment, I think.
Not at all.
Most of us were fine. with
On
that.
Not at
The
all.
railing actually added more of a distraction than anything.
And it wasn't really appropriate for the historical context of the building anyway.
Right.
So
Like you say, the rear door and the landing in the back were done previously. I don't know if you need us to do anything at this meeting or next meeting, but that wasn't brought up last time, so I didn't know.
If anything, just walk around the exterior alterations for us.
Where we take out the front
Mhm.
sidewalk and lower it to the street level, it's going to match the front of the building. It's the same stone, except on the side is, I'm sure it's just full, we haven't seen it, it's full of dirt. The front is the same thing. They've just mortared in between each one. You know, so it's, you can see all the stone. There it is on the front. We're going to use, well, they want to use simple pipe railing for the handrail, but you've denied it, you know, so we're going to go with a wrought iron.
Okay. What I would ask on that is, just submit a drawing on that.
Yes, yes.
And it needs to be vertical from what I heard from the last.
Yeah, typical
That's a,
wrought
that's a
iron.
good cue. Yeah, you're safer to propose. We can't prohibit you from proposing anything you'd like, but I think
Yeah.
character of this.
I've never seen,
building.
you don't see too often vertical or horizontal wrought iron anyway, so it's, and those big, it's got to be filled in so the kids can't fall over the edge. Yeah, we're proposing to do that same, it'll be that same stone all down the side until the new landing. The doors are going to stay.
So what'll happen is you've got these 3 or 4 steps up right now for the sidewalk. You're gonna take that out. That's gonna be excavated out.
Yes.
More of that foundation wall is
Yeah, there
gonna
you go.
show.
Yes.
So
You're then gonna retuck point that foundation wall that will be then showing, is what you're
Yes.
saying.
Yes.
And you're just gonna leave it exposed down the entire length of the side then?
Yes. It'll match what's there.
what's going above the door? You're gonna have a custom transom or something, or from the opening?
There are 3 doors right now to get around that side of that building. We're building the ramp to match the 3rd door. The other 2 are just going to be hanging in space. Seal them shut. So that's the first one.
Right, and which of these 3 are gonna be dropped? Or is
You
it
mean-
all 3? You're not dropping
No.
any of them? I thought you were reducing the height to get down further, or no? I
The
misunderstand.
grade is going down lower. The doors are going to be hanging in mid-space when the sidewalk goes away.
Okay,
And right now there's
There'll be a door here.
okay,
like 3
I see.
non-conforming steps coming out of those doors anyways. So we're going to bring it up to the first 2 doors on the inside. There's like a 4 to 8 inch, I forget what it is, difference in steps. So we're going to ramp up on the inside. So the 2 doors are higher than
Pardon me.
the other door. So we can't make a match. So we're just going to leave those other 2 doors there, build the ramp up to the 3rd door. It'll be the main entry and the fire escape from that area.
Okay. But you're gonna have to cut through existing material to do that.
Great, dirt, yes. But we're gonna bring the grade down to the street grade all the way back to the ramps.
Okay.
And then next door, we're not worried about because they're building something a whole different. So right now it's a vacant space. They've got ideas, but it's too far behind this space for us to
Is
worry
it-
about it.
and I apologize, I don't know this. Is next door the empty lot next to the Jones Hill building?
I don't know the
Yeah.
names of them, but yeah,
Yeah.
yes.
Jones Hill building is the one where it's the tall vertical warehouse in the back that they're redoing into apartments. Jones Hill is the sort of container in the front, low, like 4.5 maybe. And then they're putting a maybe four layer, very modern building inside that container.
Hmm.
So Brewery District ended up having to tear out a historic house to make the egress work for the bigger project painfully. So that's what you're talking about. You're right next
Yes.
to that.
Yes.
On that, for lack of a better word, plaza that you're putting in there, there's a item that's 3 feet wide under the doors that are to remain. Is that just a little landscaping box or what is that?
A future landscaping box, maybe using some of those stones that they're taking out
Okay,
around the stairs.
that's what I thought, but I wanted to make sure.
Can you go to the picture, Morgan, that's of this condition? It is there's that collage of photos. Keep going up. It right there, photo number 3, slide up a little. There, you can see the steps that are coming out. And those do look like historic, obviously historic material that'll get removed to those steps.
But a couple of steps are just stone.
Just
I mean,
big
they're-
sandstone.
Yeah,
pieces,
they're
right?
not. So my thought, if you wanted to, we take some of those and at least line a planter and have some plants above, in front of that
I mean,
foundation
I
wall.
support keeping original
Why not leave
material
them
when possible.
unless you need the access or something.
Well, the issue they're having, Stuart, I'm not gonna speak for them too much here, but
Mm.
they're trying to deal with the ADA
I
access
understand.
on the front and getting
Yeah,
the
I
runway.
got you.
Right.
And those stairs don't at all meet
There's not enough
code.
width.
So
Yeah.
trying to save them, they'd need a lot of work anyways. So the only way to do it is and it's not wide enough to put a ramp and then a sidewalk up to some stairs. There's just not enough
Gotcha.
space there to do so much. So we propose just to bring it all down to street level so you can at least get back, I don't know, 8 feet or so from that back door, go either up some stairs or there'll be a lift, and the lift will be attached to the building, a fold down.
It
whatever
is gonna,
platform.
so you're saying if and maybes, are you following the plan you provided though? That's gonna be the one thing that's
Yes.
gonna be critical, because we're trying to give you.
We're not
conceptual
changing, no,
feedback.
we're not changing anything except for getting rid of that thing over the back of the building. The hand railing is gonna stay the same, different material. The stairs will all stay the same. Where we propose some landscaping will stay. It's just,
How time sensitive are you? The drawings would help a lot.
oh yeah, I understand, I
So
understand.
I think before I really make a whole lot of comments, I need to see the drawings.
Yeah.
Like cleaned up.
I could
and
have them to you.
finalized.
What you're really gonna do, how this
Yeah.
is gonna go.
And if you want to do the planner, like using the recycled material, just try to give us a sketch of what that would be so that we can give you, the best thing we can do is give you as much approval now, and then you follow those drawings so that you don't end up like some of the other folks that have been here you've seen earlier where
No,
they've
I've
just
never-
done things randomly and it's like, what do you do?
No,
We want to help you succeed.
How far is that to that back that you're grading from the street? Is that 30
Go to
feet,
this-
40 feet?
17, 5, 5, 10, 27, 43, 40, 45 feet.
Almost 50?
yeah,
Okay.
almost 50 feet.
What's the code for that?
This
Is it
one is about
quarter inch of
16 and then 8.
For ramp.
Mm.
It's like 112.
Yeah.
There's a ton of room.
You don't, you don't
Yeah.
have
Issue. Good.
Yeah, we've looked at ramps and there's no room for a switchback at all.
right.
So a lift
Yeah,
is all we could
stairs.
do.
Mm.
So that's fine.
And the back of the building is just impossible to get up.
I almost feel like what they're proposing is the lesser of the evils.
I think so,
at this
too.
point.
Yeah, I mean,
I was just trying to think about different, maybe
Yeah.
how that would configure, but
Close. And you even need to have brakes in it, so that way.
I think we
Yeah,
put a
that's-
planter along the side or hide some of that foundation.
no, the concern that we're struggling with is that those stairs that are there is original fabric to the building. We generally want to protect original fabric. But there are cases where we understand that you can't. And so we're trying to decide, at least I'm trying to decide, is this a case where we can't? And the conclusion that I'm kind of coming to, it's a life safety issue, it's a handicapped accessibility issue. And we have allowed those issues as reasons for exceptions. And to simply excavate out and leave the stairs there as pedestals doesn't make any sense either, because that would be dangerous. Kids would climb on them and stuff. So,
And the bottom step would be
right,
3
right.
feet above the.
Right.
the ground. So it just,
It would just be a historical artifact, but it would be a dangerous one because some skateboarder or somebody would be doing crazy things on it.
and the bigger picture is you're preserving the bigger chunk
Right,
of
right.
fabric, right? The building.
building's gonna stay
So you're
there.
gonna keep the building, occupied and livable and heat and all the things.
Yes.
So I feel like that's a small compromise.
Yeah,
In this rare instance.
I'm agreeing with you. I'm coming to that same conclusion that we lose 2 sets of stairs, but the rationales for life safety and handicap accessibility,
And we reuse them somehow.
and
Okay,
if
so-
possible, to reuse the stone, maybe as some decorative item
They were
or
talking about using those the steps to make.
the flower box.
But the flower box, which at least is respectful. in
That would
some
be
way.
nice. Yeah, that'd be nice.
I have a basic question. I don't understand how a ramp outside like that works in the kind of weather that we have been having over the course of the last few months. How does it work for handicap? Is it real?
A ramp?
I mean, the elevator thing that you're trying
Good
to,
lift?
yeah, it's outside, right?
Yes, yes.
How does it really work for somebody who's old and feeble?
After the stairs get shoveled, that
Uh-huh.
will get swept off.
So that's a common thing. We've seen that before. I have never seen that.
I've seen it proposed as solutions on.
Have you seen it?
I-
work?
I- Yeah, I have seen,
My time.
Okay.
in fact, I helped a friend install one at his house.
Uh-huh.
That was residential, obviously, but it's the same type of a thing. You wheel your chair onto it, the thing comes down.
But
His
it's
is a little
It's
different.
really different when it's your house. and
Right,
You can
right.
control it than it is a public
but-
restaurant.
You say
Gear
the
it
same
up.
thing. I've got a handicap ramp at my house and we busted our ass many times on an icy ramp versus.
So you're gonna
something
have
like
a
that.
full-time person responsible in bad weather for. getting
Yes,
that
well,
Work.
I mean, they are
This is
designed.
not my problem, right? This is your problem, but it's pretty, it just seems challenging.
The flip side is the code does allow for these.
Yeah.
as being
Okay, thank you very
illegal,
much.
so-
I needed that
Yes.
reset.
Right.
That- that's-
yeah.
We'll have a bag over until it's needed. It'll be weatherproofed and.
I just haven't seen one before, so.
Yeah, if we
I
had
don't know.
jurisdiction over the ADA code, it'd be a little different.
I get it,
Yeah.
but I just had never seen one before, so I didn't know if it was a viable.
They take some maintenance, but yeah, they're done when there's no other solution. And so we can't pass judgment on,
Okay, heaven forbid that I would ever do that.
yeah, on the viability, for handicap. We can only look at, is that reason enough to allow the stairs to be removed? And I think I'm there, I'm fine with that, especially since you're gonna try and reuse them somewhere. And other than that, I don't see much objection to the
So
plan.
Staff.
We of course, as for preservation standards, would consider looking at all options if possible, of course, looking into the rear. I know, again, like the grading back there is difficult, and of course, the roadway itself. I know Bank Street's kind of an issue because it's an alley, but just looking at those options as well, just to see if those are viable, just in order just to maintain that historic layout that's currently there and the historic steps. Because again, this building may not always be a restaurant. This building may not be, what it was configured for at this time, or what it's proposed to be configured as, and we'd like to try to maintain as much as we can, especially with the steps and the entryways. We have seen, of course, steps removed, doors blocked off, as long as it's showing the entryway itself has been fine in the past. But that would just be from our end, just making sure that there's.
Offer some insight. When we did the Jones Heel stuff,
Mhm.
we pushed hard to get the alley to work. And we were unable to do that with the city.
They tried and the city will give us any clue as to what they're gonna do.
The answer was they don't have a plan. I
No,
believe.
no, not at all. And so there's just no
You
where to
can't
put
count- you can't count on
handicap
it.
parking because it's all sloping, like a good slope, not just.
I know, grade is a real issue back there.
ADA also,
Yes.
wants the front entrance to be the accessible one.
Well, that makes sense.
They will, only if it's impossible, that you can then move to a rear entrance.
Right.
And since he's shown that the front entrance is possible, then ADA would say, okay.
Yeah.
Then you do the front entrance.
I'm fine that we don't have authorization for ADA. I was just struggling with the concepts of how it's all gonna work.
And that's just again for
As a
preservation.
target audience person.
And I have to go back and forth because I often think like, okay, if they had like a gob of switchback ramp taking out their front lawn and the side, which looks better, ultimately. on the-
There isn't
compared to the
enough room.
historic Fabric.
There isn't enough room there. We
Right, it's,
kind of mentally did the calculation and you can't get it because
You probably have to like cut back and forth in front of the
50
house
feet long.
ramp.
And one cup, you cannot
Side
put
of-
two ramps
yeah.
side by
Right.
side
It'd be like-
in that space.
you need the width, you need the length, and you need the landings. Because you
Yeah.
need to put the rails on both sides and he doesn't have enough room
Yeah.
unless they tear down that front part of the house. Which would sort of defeat everything. Yeah, you just can't do it. It's, the length of a handicap ramp is much longer than what most people think it is. It's incredible.
In the next steps, as you update your drawings, definitely include a site plan to show the building in the context up to the street, so the right of way.
Okay.
Because I think there's a little bit of like stuff to be resolved with that. So it'll be nice for us to know what you're doing, not just at the building facade, but
I agree. I think the vacant lot, I thought the vacant lot belonged to Jones Hill. It doesn't?
does.
It does,
Mhm.
right? And I don't know what their plans are. They were having the edge of the building struggle with the property that you were talking about was not clean in the design. So they were going to work, I thought, with you, with the owner, to try to figure that out. So it would be helpful for us to see that.
Yeah, we've been trying to work with them, you know, we've talked about easements and it's just nothing, we've looked at the feasibility of everything else and this was our only.
Just we need to understand what it is
Yeah.
now
Mhm.
as you, in your designs, which I think is what the commissioner is asking for.
Well, our site is included. I have not included anything beyond. That dash line is just our site. Wow, that's it.
But it's just that.
Yeah, yeah, there is nothing,
All building.
Yeah, the empty lot is not theirs.
no. So we cannot cross over there.
Can you go?
And we don't know what they're doing. They've tried working with them and coming up with a shared entry, but they won't move fast enough. So they want to get open. We want some good seafood here. So to get that, we've got to provide what we can do. And if they get off their duff before this thing gets built, we'll be back in front of you. But for right now, we've got to move.
So real quick, just, I want to note something that as you get ready to do your final drawings, this would be very useful for the commission and I think for documentation purposes. You kind of had just a piecemeal elevation of that'd be your south side.
Yeah, yes.
Can you do a full elevation on the south side? The reason being is also, so in here, there's some CMU block that's a later addition, and you've got some glass block. Please note those glass block windows as being existing already.
Okay.
Because our commission generally doesn't approve glass block, but you've got an existing condition already that was already there that you didn't do. I just want to make sure that that's very clear for the record. It helps us for other reasons. And don't extend any more glass block on those buildings. But it'll help your package
No,
become better.
is
And then
it
just,
3D
I
you
think
just
it's
say?
good to just see the full elevation as you do that, show those
Okay.
doors, remaining, clean up all that detailing stuff, all the things you've talked about here, just make sure it ends up in drawings.
Okay.
So that we can then, when we see the full package of drawings with railings and everything else on it, we're truly, getting you through this process
Mhm.
and off and running.
And I will say that the current photos aren't the photos that have been proposed or submitted aren't the like most recent current photos. If you can take those of all the other elevations
As
as
many
well.
photos as you can get, big
Mhm.
expansive views too, would be helpful.
Would you rather have the photos just separate or on the drawings like this?
If you can do bigger photos on, just plop one photo per sheet too, leave them big
Send
too.
them separate.
Mhm.
Okay.
Documenting existing
can-
conditions is
we'll leave them in
great,
the
but
packet.
just make sure you have a full drawing package on this with all details. And,
Mhm.
if you're gonna have a sconce alongside a door or something for an emergency light, or something, make sure to pick all those sconces out. Make sure you give us cut sheets on your doors, paint colors, all that stuff. As many things as you can wrap in now, so that you don't have to come back.
Okay.
I generally think we work with most applicants pretty well when they present a full package.
Is your ultimate design gonna retain some of the graffiti-like structure or iconography that exists? Is that your intention?
No.
I think it's already been painted, correct?
30, yeah, we already.
Yeah.
We had approval to paint.
I'm not,
I'm a fan
I'm
of
just
retaining the
asking.
graffiti,
It's
by
kinda
the way.
neat. I like the graffiti, I was just asking, yeah.
There's a very close, what was it, kind of ADU barn structure in the back there. That's why the ADU graffiti
Now,
got
is
cut
there
off.
LDCS would argue with us, but I like graffiti.
Yeah, but then you're into copyright laws.
I'll ask in a second. Is there any way we can start construction over the next month while this,
We have no-
everything is
We have no purview on the interior.
right?
So if you've got permits or whatever.
I'm
you're
just
doing,
gonna say,
We've
if
got
you
a
got
building
permits on
permit.
the inside, as long as you're not
Right.
touching the outside, so we have that package.
we
And
will
approve it.
approach.
Mhm.
Well, We're waiting on our permits because this was the last piece they needed, to give.
They should be able to
like a
give you some
partial-
partials.
Yeah.
No?
This was what they needed, was the certificate of appropriateness.
Can they?
I would talk to them again, because typically if there's just interior work that isn't,
Or
you
might,
know.
it might need to take some massaging, but getting them on the phone with Morgan.
Yeah, they can always reach out to me, because we've seen in the past many times where there's things that need to be done on the exterior and the people can move forward on the
Or
interior
interior
work.
demo or
Mm.
interior
Yeah.
MEP, rough in, that kind of thing. Like,
Yeah.
That's, we're not.
Yeah, we're not
we shouldn't be holding
affecting,
that anyway.
I guess the only thing that's going to happen is if you guys come back and say, you know, you're not doing this for some
Mhm.
reason.
Are you
But-
shingling the roof? Because I see there's a blue tarp on there.
That's been done.
Mhm. That received previous approval. Commissioner
Okay,
Henry.
that
Mhm.
was, that's.
Yeah, because these aren't
I will
current
get
photos right now.
Updated
Yeah.
pictures. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think you're hearing from this group that we will not support the intent of what you're trying to
If
do.
you're
So,
extremely consistent with everything we just talked about now, I
Yeah.
think you've got a lot of heads nodding yes.
Okay.
The full documentation.
Mhm.
All right.
And just for the applicant to know, since this is conceptual, you will have until the, 27th of March to send in a new application with the
okay.
updated materials. But I'll submit that, of course, but just so you have that knowledge now.
All right. All right.
That next Friday. Mhm.
Okay.
But if you don't have something picked out or finalized, just be honest with a list of here's the things that you got open to, because we'll work with you the best we can to keep you moving.
Okay. Great.
Okay.
Yes,
That's
thank
all
you.
that's required of us at this point.
That's it.
Yeah, thank you.
Great.
Thank you.
And good luck. Seafood, huh?
Yeah,
Fantastic.
thank you. First shot.
Ah.
Hey, all right.
Weston, like that.
Thank you. Moving on to COA 2600-153, that's 504 Park Street. Come on up.
Conceptual again, eh?
Also conceptual approval.
never had a chef come for.
That is kind of neat. I like that.
We've already measured this one as far enough away that I don't have to recuse.
Sugar bar, here we go.
If you could raise your right hand once you set your stuff down. Do you swear to tell the truth in the testimony for the commission this evening?
I do.
State your full name and association with the property for record.
My name's David Rechtenwald. I'm an architect for Rechtenwald Studio Architects, representing One Hospitality, the owner.
Thank you. Morgan.
All right, this is to install new double-sided internally illuminated LED cabinet blade sign to say sugar. Proposed to install painted sugar logo on Park Street elevation to be illuminated with existing gooseneck light fixtures. Install 2 new black fabric over existing awnings, or new black fabric over the existing awnings, sorry. Install 2 aluminum louvered pavilion structures on the rear patio. Applied wood veneer on masonry patio wall, proposing 3 options for the exterior modifications. Option 1 is to paint exterior masonry white, install wood veneer and chevron pattern over existing advertisement boxes and around main door, install exterior sconces in wood, on the wood veneer portions. Option 2 is paint previously painted side elevation white, maintain unpainted red brick facade, install wood veneer and a chevron pattern of existing advertisement boxes and entry door, and install exterior sconces. Option 3 would be to paint previously painted side elevation white, maintain unpainted red brick facade, install exterior sconces, maintain existing brick sill and advertisement box openings on front elevations, and apply wood trim around main entryway. The property was constructed in 1969, which places the property within the local and national period of being considered historic. We recommended to the applicant that since the front facade has not been painted, we would not support the painting of the front facade. But since the side of the building had previously been painted, we could support the painting of that elevation. Staff also mentioned that though the existing openings are just openings for the ad boxes, we recommend retaining those openings since they are most likely original to the structure with the row lock sill detailing. Applicant supplied the 3 rendering designs from those recommendations. At the March business meeting, the commissioners recommended pulling from the corner feature of the building, a little more in the design to continue the 60s building elements. The commission recommended applicant to consider installing light boxes in the advertisement openings. They asked staff to see if they could locate older photos, recommended applicant consider focusing more on the entry piece than the walls, and commission asked applicant provide the conceptual sizes that they are thinking for the wall and blade sign. Staff could not find any older photos for the property, unfortunately. The oldest we have is just of Google Street View from 2007. So the commissioners should offer design feedback that can be utilized by the applicant to further refine the proposal for review at a future HRC meeting. No action is required at this time.
This is truly one of those vernacular
Yeah.
structures. I'm sure that didn't get much press when completed.
What?
But we will turn this over to the applicant. Even though you've given options, what I do want to make clear is we are not the architect. We want you to tell us which option you'd like to pursue. You've heard some feedback from staff. You've heard some feedback from our commission. We can respond to what you tell us you would like to do. But we won't blatantly just be picking options for you. So I will turn it over to you to kind of lead us. If you need to go up there, by the way, to point to anything, have her change slides, we can do that. I just want to leave that up there as an as an option for you as you are presenting to us.
Understood. Well, I have a preferred option based on what the owner would like to do, but we also, once we got staff
You've
feedback,
heard staff feedback. Yeah.
we're going to try and make something else work.
Okay.
And then the whole idea was for me to take whatever I hear tonight and come up with a final design solution and then get it back in.
Right.
So that's kind of where this was going. The main solution here, the painting the entire building, this off-white goes with the concept that the owner's trying to put forth, which is more of a Mediterranean kind of Spanish type of food concept. And they want some of that to come on the outside and be evident of what the menu is and what the concept is for the building. So a little bit of wood and the off-white paint, and then keeping some of the existing elements of the facade. There's the illuminated light boxes we talked about. There's been a concept of, can we just put a false window in there? Or can we somehow run the chevron pattern up and put in a light fixture that's a pedestrian type of wall sconce? Make it work that way. They are wired, so all that's still there. So there's an opportunity to maybe do something with that, or we just go back and make it a false window. That's another option. So we're just not sure exactly what the commission might want to see with some of these details. But the main issue is painting the entire building this off-white, and then the windows and the doors a black, and continue that theme around the building. So that's number one. Number two.
One of the biggest things is just know that there hasn't been a lot of support from this commission for painting brick that's not painted.
Understood.
already. So that'll be a critical piece of
Okay.
our consideration.
Should we hit on that a little bit more? I mean,
Can.
okay. As far as that's concerned, the front elevation has already been, now I'm not going to say decimated, but it's already been altered to an extent that I would ask, do we really need to maintain the brick color? If we maintain the
Talk to me about
brick
those alterations.
and the texture, wouldn't that be enough? Number one. Number two, isn't the children's theater next door painted brick?
It was previously painted.
Okay, so that's down the river and not an issue.
What's
Okay.
been changed on the facade
Yeah.
when you said decimated or whatnot?
The corner there, when I think in 99, when Bar Louie went in, they erected that very contemporary looking corner window to activate the corner of the property. And then obviously the main door,
So that
is-
corner window was added in 1990?
I think 99.
Oh, good for you, it's there now.
Were you,
Sorry.
were you in the?
Yeah.
commission at that time?
Let's see, 0504, no, 3.
When did
Wasn't
this
there.
become a district?
Staff.
Still familiarizing yourself with these smaller districts or whether.
And you know, 99 might have been a.
Might have been right before.
District, yeah.
Right.
Oh.
That's what I'm thinking.
Or if it was, it's a code violation, you need to remove it.
Take it out. Is that an element that you want to incorporate into the design? I mean, assuming that it's there,
The
so.
corner.
The what?
The corner,
No, I want to leave it the way it is.
Okay.
I'm just saying it's no longer brick where it was brick before.
Right.
Now we have the advertisement boxes that were punched in here. So all of a sudden we're starting to change things over time.
So those
And-
weren't windows originally, because there's like sills and that sort of thing. The three on the west.
I think we're
elevation.
asking you this too, though.
Yeah,
Like,
that in the original, the drawings from 99 had those openings being turned into illuminated
is
advertisement
that what those
boxes.
are?
From
Yeah.
windows to the left.
Approach with those?
Interesting.
Might help us a little.
This actually does change our opinions, maybe, potentially.
It just gives us a little more thought.
But you know what? Hang on, I'm completely wrong. I'm sorry. The other drawings are from that. These are from 06.
Okay.
Okay, yes.
Let's see 06. We'll go from there.
We'll see.
Oh, yeah, yeah. We can also share them down the road here.
Can't see anything down here.
Or existing.
Right, so they were windows, and that's when they put the bathrooms in. But there's still openings, and we do allow an opening to remain an opening, and they are,
Okay.
Kind of changed it.
they're painted black sometimes, or various things, because we don't.
Yeah, there should be doors or something here too.
Yeah. Reminds me of the structure of Borchers that we've been working on, right? With the proportions in the low window.
Oh, look, there was like some kind of structure up here
Yeah, I
too,
do
even
recall
that's
the-
all
the
gone.
Metal that was on top of that.
Sign frame.
I can't remember.
Yeah, you can see right here, look at this in profile. That probably was a really different look with that whole thing. There was a,
Modern.
Yeah.
this thing actually has been pretty.
So
Altered.
would we consider restoration of that? Are there other?
I got it.
I just put up the elevations and plans today in the site.
I mean, new aluminum stuff. I mean, all the window systems have been.
Redone.
Fresh doors.
All the windows are just brand new.
Right.
As of this renovation.
Yeah.
Those are new windows as well. Is that what we determined?
It's before. it
Yeah,
was-
Yeah, these are new.
Would not be
These are,
appropriate.
this is all new system.
So was
This is
this a
all
blank?
new.
They did it before with
There's
historic
no
building units.
existing drawing here.
There's no.
No, and
I can't speak.
do you know what the building had been when it got converted into Barlow?
The point,
Before
yeah.
it was an historic building. They could do
Mhm.
whatever they wanted.
Mhm.
Oh, it was before okay, so the district came in later?
Well, not that maybe it was a district, Commissioner Henry, but now with the date of now, being 1969, that was before it was considered an historic structure. At this point, it is considered an historic structure, so that's something to
Big,
Even
evaluate.
if it was a district.
Mhm.
No, because it was
Yeah.
a non-contributing bill.
Yes.
It was a
you.
non-contributing element to the
Mhm.
district, that's why.
These were recessed
Oh,
back with
no.
decorative elements
Because they were,
prior.
Mhm.
they were probably windows to begin with, and then they turned them into advertising boxes because the bathrooms are behind those windows.
Correct.
Mm.
When they did the
I
renovation.
mean, the character defining features were probably this big graphics sign thing and all the stuff that kind of stuck up on the corner that's now gone. I mean, when you think about mid-century architecture of that sort.
And otherwise it was just a blank facade then.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Doors and a big sign.
And that's just of the corner. The existing brick is still part of the original structure that is unpainted. So I will just make note of that. Says that's still, that's part is still existing as.
Yeah, so to your point about, there's already some painted and there's other areas that are painted too. I think, at least in general, where I land on that is if we do have some exposed brick, just because there are other areas that are painted, doesn't necessarily mean that opens the gateway to paint the rest of the building. Just because it is
Yeah.
still existing material, much like if we had a historic building and someone made some alteration, the rest of it's still historic, right? So we wouldn't look at the rest of the building differently because something had been done to it.
Mhm.
In particular in this case, because the side was never brick. The side was always
CMU.
Mhm.
CMU. And so the building only had a brick facade, so the brick facade hasn't been painted.
My other worry is I think one of your renderings also showed putting wood treatment on. There's this low wall that comes off the right-hand side of the structure and then wraps down the
Yes.
street. And that is all red brick right now that does match the red brick on the facade, and it would be good if you could not put all that wood on. I mean, I have doubts that the wood will hold up long-term and look in 10 years like what you want it to look like from a maintenance standpoint, just challenges of this environment and road, sidewalk salts and, water and everything else. And so one wonders if you could set up some of these alterations in that context of not still covering over as much of the red brick as possible.
I brought that up, but they wanted me to press on with this. We want to clad that brick and get rid of the red brick. It doesn't work with the concept they'd like to present. So
We would just encourage you to be creative, to engage with the red brick and create a concept that does work for them.
and that brick came at a later date, correct? It's not like the textured brick that's on the original facade, completely different.
Yeah, that's a newer wall.
So I didn't.
Yeah, but I'm not sure the date of when that was constructed. We could find that information, but it is newer.
Red brick is a newer.
Wait, what?
Yeah, for the
There's a
wall
wall
itself.
right here.
Oh,
to the
that
right.
little wall.
Yeah,
Okay,
and if
okay.
you see the
patio,
rendering.
the
Yeah,
patio
not the
wall.
red brick of the
It's
facade.
just a
Flat common brick. It's normal stuff. It's not the textured brick that's on the main facade.
I don't think we care about the little wall.
Doesn't matter?
It's the building that matters.
Okay. So I'd ask.
Is it though, or is it now just is it a hodgepodge of stuff?
Yes, of course it's a hodgepodge.
Is it a good hodgepodge or a bad hodgepodge?
Well, that's why he's here to pull it all
Right.
together. so that
I
it
don't think
reads
it's a
as
good
one.
hodgepodge, which is why I'm asking, why not paint the whole building and get one whole uniform look?
If you want a uniform look, have you considered covering the CMU wall with brick to match the front?
No, that would be almost financially impossible.
Yeah. I don't think I think you will not get support to paint the brick, the front facade brick. I think we're pretty much all on the same page there. You won't get any.
Okay, so yeah, so
paint.
that's,
Track.
Take the paint.
so that's, okay, I'm just
Yeah,
trying to
I think-
exhaust the
yeah.
possibilities, that's all.
I think that you can consider that up.
Okay, so that's gonna,
We will attest to your client that you tried.
that's fine.
You did a
Well,
great job.
I just want to get him the best
Very
solution for his
convincing, but it-
business. Otherwise, he's not,
Understood.
if he can't get the main thing, then I know he's going to start backing off on stuff.
Yeah,
He may just do a sign and call it a day.
yeah.
I don't want that. I want him to clean up the property and the
Sure.
building and add to it and,
Mhm.
but also want his business to be successful with the concept
Yeah.
he sees and he wants to do. One of the other things that generated this is whoever went in there last upgraded a lot of the kitchen pieces, especially the hood. It's brand new. So that has offered opportunity to make a different or a better menu. So this is more of a restaurant focused thing as opposed to just a sports bar.
Yeah.
If he
So-
loves great food, he will be successful.
Agreed.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Yeah, and just to be clear, like, we're very consistent about painting a brick. So you could let your client know that that's
Well,
really, that's an uphill battle
Right.
for our commission.
Understood.
But we appreciate your position and what you're trying.
I
to do
pushed
for your
back and I
client.
tried. I said, you got to do something else. And that's how we got to these other schemes. So, okay, so
Now, what about the awning?
they're existing.
Change color or gonna keep the color?
Black, keep, same.
It'll be white. Clean them often, but.
What about the wood trim that we have going over the brick? Is that, again, something else you would not entertain, even if it's just a trim application?
How are you gonna fasten it? How is it gonna weather? Is it gonna warp? What's
I
the
mean,
maintenance
what
program?
are you thinking here for
The Western red cedar is pretty solid stuff. I wouldn't have a problem with that. That's a very expensive application. That's not going anywhere over time. Sure, it's going to take some maintenance. They know that.
I can't think of any precedents. that
Have we ever done something like that?
Well,
No,
I mean, the way I would think about it, if you could apply something so that in the future, if it comes out, the brick remains intact the way it was.
Mhm.
And I think that's the way to think about it, at least as an idea. I'm not saying that, but the way it seems that you would apply it, you will end up destroying the brick. So I think that's something to think about. Again, you'll have to present an idea for us that way.
That extend to a full color application on the facade? In your mind?
Well, that we,
So long as
You have
Mm-hmm.
it's.
to build panels and screw the panels.
but
Easily
we've had experience where you can't remove the paint from bricks. That's why.
I'm saying.
Okay.
Full facade.
Water, snow.
I mean, again, I think the applicant will have to come up with an idea, almost like a false facade.
Conceptually open to that is what I'm asking.
I don't know, good question.
It's possible, but it would be so hard to demonstrate. One idea that you might, if if you don't like the big blank wall up there and stuff, we have allowed uh, uh, murals to
Yeah,
be
That's kind of.
attached to the building. There's a
Graffiti.
process, that's a heat transfer process. And if he's doing Mediterranean, he might be able to do something really kind of interesting with some big graphics. And if you look around the short north and other areas, you'll see on the side of the building sometimes
Sure.
that there's huge murals
Mural, not signs.
there. And,
Mhm.
and those are safe, they're removable. They last, I think, a pretty long time.
Mhm.
And that's one way that
Big color graph.
people have been able to add some dimension or, you know, you gotta be careful. It can't be a sign,
Yeah,
but it can be some type of a
Artists.
Mediterranean work of
There's-
art or some type of a thing that could be interesting and kind of
Yeah,
wow
it would have to go
factor.
through
and-
graphics approval, but I think you would have traction here to use the wall as a canvas.
Well,
How's that help your wheels? Are you? getting
I
some
brought it
color
up
juice?
to him and said, if we're not going to get anything on the brick, which it sounds like that's probably going to be the case, and I would shift my focus to all the branding on that south elevation and really let that be your canvas that faces the
Oh, I
Merchant
see.
Tower. It faces the North Market. There's more pedestrian activity in that direction. I wanted them to go in that direction. They haven't done that yet. So that's where I'm gonna send them and just leave the brick alone. No sign, nothing, forget it. Whatever's there
South.
remains there.
Yeah.
And refocus the branding in a different direction. He's gonna want to do something to the entry. I know that. So we'll have to come to some sort of agreement on some wood application to surround the main front door. It's got to be a main door. It's got to have some identity to it. Can't just be a pair of aluminum doors. Got to have something. So I'll come back with something that's similar to what we see here in version 2. It sounds like version 2 is where we're going.
This was there.
You,
I think we're not enthusiastic about the wood. You need to hear that.
I think I think most people we're just sort of.
I think on
we don't-
infill, I
We're not
would be
seeing the
less hurt,
vision for the
you know, like a
wood,
big
but-
pair of
Oh.
wood doors maybe, but.
Do you have, Morgan, do you have number 2? It's just the wood that's trimmed around the main front door.
Yeah.
but it
Yeah, we saw.
from
Okay,
the
all right.
trims on the brick again, right?
All right, well, I'll attempt to come back with
see what you're
that
saying, though.
proposal and see where it goes.
Also check the requirements on the signage, because there's some pretty strict
Yes,
requirements on the signage, and I think that a internally lit sign that you were proposing?
whatever
Yeah.
I called it out similar to what they wanted to have done, but I gave them this information and say, this is how big it's gonna be. This is what already was approved. Let's do the same thing. We just use your colors and your logo and et cetera, do something very similar to this.
The square
Yeah.
Yeah.
inches foot of the signage compared to where it was and.
This is the AC Marriott's right across the street, right?
Mhm.
You may want to see if they've not completed their alterations, share with the applicant there. They have a storefront improvement package coming across the street on all those little historic facades. You may want to see some of the things that we've approved as a commission that are coming.
Across the street from this
Yeah,
property.
yeah, including
Okay.
they have a blade side going on their corner and everything that we approved. You may want to take some cues on size, and they're adding awnings and stuff to those buildings.
Okay?
And
Yeah,
Just
they
so
haven't
you know
shared,
what's coming.
they haven't shared that with me.
No.
Okay,
That's Chris.
Are they?
Oh,
the owner?
okay,
that's our guy.
okay.
Oh,
Well,
okay.
he'll probably share with you what he's doing across the street, which we've already approved as a commission. That may help guide you.
Right.
True.
Sounds like we could provide that as well.
If we go to the south elevation and we write the 5 letters up there and we do the goosenecks up there and it faces south and it can only be what, 25 square feet? Is that the limit?
Yeah, 25
that-
square feet.
And that's sign number 2, and that'll do it for signage.
Right, but your mural component can be graphically driven that supports your branding and be art. And
But
I
not be a
think
sign.
as long as you show us some good graphic content on it, we can say that it's.
Art
part
is
of
art.
There are
art
definitions in
and
the
not-
code about what's a mural
Just
versus
don't
a sign.
stick.
Yes.
I'll
Yeah,
pass that along.
Don't put it
but
anymore.
he
It's
likes
in the short
likes
North Design
clean things and
Guidelines.
Aligned. He likes alignments and things
Fine.
clean, and so I'll pass that along.
That's a great, that south wall though is a great canvas.
That's
is what
what we
I
did.
think.
I agree. That's
And
why.
the wrap that they use, the heat applied wrap, it lets the brick breathe.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been
Okay.
used in a number of buildings.
Yes.
around
I was
the
gonna,
office
I
now.
could have mentioned that.
Really jazz it up.
Okay,
And I'd like to make a note just about the wood itself. That is going to be the south elevation, so that's going to be a lot of sun hitting that bare wood. The maintenance on that, typically for just like a clear coated wood, even if it is red cedar, it still is going to have its
Yeah,
issues and it'll have to be maintained every probably year
Yeah,
or
it's-
so, but just a note on that for material wise.
okay. Well, we're not going to have any of it. So, well, what about,
Any other
we already
thoughts?
talked about the low patio brick wall that you want to preserve that as well, correct?
Correct.
So if I come back with that, that's a no-go. All right. It's an X. Very good. Okay.
Reading the room.
And then quick question, just because we haven't touched base on this yet as well, just the pavilions in the back, what the commissioner's thoughts are on that for the applicant or anything.
We got one more thing to back up
Oh,
on.
that's fine. I just was,
And
just
maybe
to
we
keep that on the
already-
radar.
I don't know if we decided, but the existing advertisement boxes with the brick sill, should those be,
Covered over?
no?
Good.
Could
You
they
can use
just
them as
be a false
advertisement
window? Would you
within
fill
the-
a false window with black frame?
100%.
That's fine.
Yep.
Yep.
That's the easy way out of
Don't
it.
brick it in. Don't put any glass block.
No.
Yeah.
no.
Don't.
Pop them out, put windows in.
If you want to put a sconce in
What
there,
was the
let us
original?
what,
Was
you know,
it
show
windows
us.
in.
one over one or was the original?
Can't do that.
Was the
What?
original one over
It's,
one?
it's not clear. They talk about converting it
This
to
reminds me
being
of the
box.
Borchers Building. Am I the only one that thinks that?
The what?
The Borchers Building down the street on Front Street,
Yeah.
in Bury District, which is very squat, those two little windows in the front door, same. thing. And that was one over one, right? Very 50s, 60s.
Can find an example of that.
I
And
think
also look
it's
in our pack records. Again, maybe we missed it.
Likely one over one.
This, we're beating this to death.
I feel like, I don't know, replicating windows that are not there.
That's fair.
Less worried because they clearly replaced all of the other glazing on this whole thing, including the corner and then all the way
Just that
outside.
facade to me is kind of iconic.
Don't change the height, width, or depth of the opening. I mean, you can do whatever you want on the inside, the outside, but keep the opening the way it is. Basically, is the
It's
idea.
just gonna be a metal window,
Whatever you want to do in there.
plug it in and it's already got
But
bat insulation
No
and metal
nails.
framing on the inside.
Yeah.
So,
When you say plug it in, you don't mean electrically, right?
no,
Okay, good.
plug in a window unit to make it look like an
Real-
opening.
infill is a better word.
Okay.
Any more questions?
Not on that part, but
I think staff has a question whether we would support these aluminum prefabricated trellis structures. My view on those is that they're sort of like,
Temporary.
they're temporary. They have a lifespan.
Yeah.
They're not
As long as they
gonna be
don't
there.
blow
In
off and hit
15 years,
somebody.
they're gonna be taken down and something. replaced.
are.
Yeah,
Furniture would be
yeah,
okay.
I feel like they're furniture category.
Yeah,
they are.
and
It's not attached to anything. any
We've
facade.
approved things like that before, on pergolas and things and,
Put cloth on it.
even on rooftops, we've.
And it's
approved
not
some.
covered in wood, so I'm a fan.
He's being funny. Hey, just kidding.
picked up on that.
Last one, so.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So the pavilions are okay with this
Mhm.
group?
I think it's cool.
Yeah.
I think it
Just-
fits in with the idea too.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay,
It
very good.
supports- Yeah.
Yeah, they're just louvered. They do have an LED that's controllable. You can get all kinds of,
Close the louvers,
It-
the button, all that.
yeah, that's, so.
We say have an LED. Are they the kind where you have those fluorescent lights immediately underneath each louver and you can see them from the street and they are
No,
terrible?
no,
Okay, what are they?
they're an LED strip that's right there.
It's mounted in the.
Not
inside-
each
inside
louver,
frame.
but on the boundary, and they are controllable. So,
I mean, dimmable,
correct, yes, they're controllable.
no colors, right?
No colors.
Okay.
Not that I'm aware of at this time.
Well, even if there are, you can send.
If
it
there, I'm
away.
sure he'll get a letter.
Yeah.
So, I can't stop him from doing things. I can only. Okay, so I think that covers it.
Beauty. That's gonna look neat.
Yeah, I think that's all for,
What I would love, by the way, in follow-up, if you cannot give these to staff now, I would love for you to follow up and give a set of these
And
to
the
staff for
1999
record, because
ones.
this is always these are the kinds of things that really help your case, actually.
Mhm.
And the 1999 ones. if you
And
have
the
them.
signage.
Yeah.
Any
And
old
we-
drawings you have, if you could submit just copies of those
Okay.
to staff for their file, it's actually helped building the case for why we are gonna be able to potentially vote in
Hmm.
favor of a project that's gonna further alter this building.
I do have a PDF of the entire set. So
Yeah.
I was,
Pass that to staff, they will then pass it to us, that helps you.
And you can
scan
include
that
it
and send
in
to
your
her, the
packet.
Sign from the.
Yes.
Yeah.
this came from Morgan.
Oh, it did? Okay.
Yes, that
so-
one did. That one did, yeah.
Perfect, you have it. All right. Just making sure. You seem very.
We have
prepared.
that one.
Okay, well,
Yeah, that'd be helpful.
Thank
And
you.
when,
Feedback.
Mhm.
Appreciate the feedback and the discussion this
We'll
evening.
give you as much feedback as you can quickly turn drawings to staff during the business meeting too, so we're
They
helping
don't have to
you
be
keep going.
complete. I mean, you give us a glimpse and we'll see if it's gonna fly or not. And if you're
Mhm.
really having some concerns.
Yeah.
Don't go to a full set.
Well, I need to have something back to you by the 26th and 5th,
27th.
right?
27th at 4 PM. Yeah.
Get a week.
27th. Okay.
Mhm. So you
Well,
have an
they
issue.
all come back
Yeah.
Monday. They're all spring breaking somewhere. So I'll get with them on Monday and then I'll have Tuesday and Wednesday to draw as much as I can draw.
Get
So,
cranking.
Mhm.
um,
And it's at 4 PM, of course, I will be out of the office at that point, so I won't have time to look at them until next week. But then if there's additional information or materials we need, we'll let
When
you
do you
know.
want to put a shovel in this? Like when you want to really start cutting and doing?
He's
Tomorrow?
ready. He's ready to go now.
Okay. Everything's.
The other
time
place
sensitive.
across the street's open, so
Time to
these
get
guys
moving.
are cleaning up the space
They
right
did some
now.
cool things across the street that are
I was impressed.
coming, so.
Yeah, it's nice. It came out nice.
Yeah,
You guys
it's really
been
sharp.
inside?
Inside, yeah, I haven't.
It's
been
what it
inside,
needed.
but the-
Honestly, that building
Please,
needed that
yeah.
corner.
I need to go see it.
Yeah, it's worth your
Me
time.
too.
Well, he's not gonna be real happy about his off-white paint, but I'll manage it.
Man. Yes, man for the
I
job.
just want to
right?
get to a solution so we can get going. So,
There.
You can do it.
Thank
all
you.
right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Any other conceptuals or we,
I am moving on to Morgan. Are there any items of new business or of old business?
Not at this time? No, we
Okay,
are good.
I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
please?
Second?
There's a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
We are officially adjourned at 5:36 PM.
Okay.
Thank you.